Welcome to the video on creating the screw slide block for the Trammel toy. We are going to make this block fully constrained using our geometric constraints in Fusion. You can see here we have the screw slide block multi-view drawing. We have our top view, front view, bottom view, along with our isometric. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So in Fusion, we're going to go ahead and save our file right off the bat. Call this screw slide block. Make sure you have it in the correct location. Click save. And then you're going to check to make sure your document settings are set to inches and not millimeter. Once we have confirmed that, we can go ahead and the first thing we're going to do is create a component. All right, this component is going to be named screw slide block. Click OK. All right, now that we have our component created, we're actually going to go into our sketch mode. We're going to select this plane over here, be the left view, I guess, plane. And from there, we're going to actually recreate what our overall object looks like, which is this upside down T, if you look from the right side. So we're going to recreate that in Fusion using the line tool. The measurements do not have to be exact. We are going to fix that. So you can see here, I'm just kind of really quickly drawing out our T. There we go. I'm going to hit escape. Now we have our object to work with. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to line up our origin with this bottom line so that it's kind of the middles are lined up. So we're going to use the midpoint constraint, which is this triangle in the toolbar. We're going to click on the line, and then we're going to click right on the origin point. And you can see that it shifted the object over until the midpoint and the origin were aligned. Hit the escape tool. We're going to exit that tool. The next constraint we're going to work on is the constraint between this and this line. So right now, as you can see, we can move these independently. So let's change that using the collinear constraint. So go ahead and select that tool. The first line we're going to select is this one, and then the next one would be that one. Hit escape to exit that tool. Now if I do this, you can see that they both move together. All right, so the next constraint we're going to do is the horizontal vertical. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create that. And let's see if it'll find. So I had to hold down shift and drag along this line until I found the middle of that line, and it turns to a blue X with a triangle, which is the midpoint. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on the origin point. And what that's going to do is line up that midpoint with the origin. So if I hit escape, what that does is now when I move these two lines here, they stay, the midpoint stays right where it should be. All right, we have all of our constraints that we need. So the next thing is we need to dimension our object. All right, so looking at our multi-view drawing, you can see that we have the height of our, the first part of our T, I guess you could say, is 0.355. And then we have a overall height of 0.844. So let's implement those dimensions. All right, so we're going to go ahead and select dimensions here. The first one is going to be 0.355. Hit enter. And then we're going to apply the dimension for the overall height. And I believe that one, just double check in, is 0.844. Hit enter. The next measurement we're going to do is for the width of this line here. And if we look at our multi-view drawing, this would be the 0.4, or sorry, 0.141 for that width. Let's apply that dimension. We click here and here. We'll slide up and type in 0.141. Hit enter. And the other dimension that we need is the overall width of the block. So that would be 0.734. All right, so we click on the left side here and this left side here and slide up, and we're going to make that 0.734. Hit enter. And now we have our object fully dimensioned and constrained. Click on Finish Sketch. From here, we can actually now extrude our object. So we're going to click on the object, hit E for extrude. All right, right now you can see here we drag it. It's only doing one side, right? So we're going to go and change our direction, and we're going to make this symmetric. Okay, what that does is then it extrudes on both sides. Okay, so the extent type is going to remain distance. Measurement, though, is going to change. We're going to, instead of half length, we're going to actually do whole length. The overall distance is going to be 1.75, and we're going to hit OK. And that 1.75 comes from here. All right, so back in Fusion, all right, we have our object. I'm going to hit my home button to zoom in. Now we want to add the chamfers to finish off the that look of the screw block here. And then we just need to add our hole. So let's do the chamfer first. That measurement for our chamfer is 0.125 typical. So let's go back into Fusion. What I'm going to do first is holding down Control for Windows or Command for Mac and click on the 8 lines that we need to chamfer. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and now flip to the other side. All right, and I'm going to hold down Control still or Command if I'm on a Mac and select the other 4 lines. Now I can go in our Modify menu and click on chamfer. And that measurement, oh, it must not have selected here, chamfer. All right, so that measurement here is going to be 0.125. Hit enter, and we have our chamfered look. The next step, and in our design here, is creating the hole at the top. To help things along, I'm going to place a point to help us create that hole, and that's going to be on the bottom. I'm going to make it on the bottom at the origin point. So go ahead and go into sketch mode. I'm going to select the bottom of our block, and then under create, I'm going to go ahead and select point, and I'm going to click on the origin. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to click on that and click P for project, and then hit OK. And then I can go ahead and finish our sketch. I'm going to go back to our home view actually. And we're going to place that hole starting from the top, because if we look at our multi-view drawing, we have a 0.177 through hole, which is a simple hole starting from the top, and it goes all the way through. So let's go ahead and create that hole using the hole tool. And we're going to create it, and we're going to select on the top plane. Oops, sorry. We're going to create it on the top. So I'm going to click top on the view cube. All right. And we're going to click that hole tool. And I'm going to select that point that we had made. Okay. From here, this is going to be a through hole, so we need to select the extents to all. It's going to be simple for both here. And that diameter should be 0.177. And then go ahead and hit OK. All right, our hole is now created. And the only thing we have left to do, all right, looking at our multi-view, is actually creating this hexagon hole and cut. Okay, you can see we have a 0.386 hexagon with a depth of 0.255. So let's go back into Fusion and create that hexagon. We're going to go ahead and go to the bottom of our block, and we're going to hit Create Sketch. I'm going to, in the drop down for the Create menu, I'm going to hit, I'm going to select the bottom of the block, and then go to Create, then go to Polygon, and Circumscribed Polygon. And from here, I'm going to go to our origin point, create our hexagon, okay, and click on it. Don't worry about the size of it. We will take care of that right now. I'm going to hit Escape to get out of our polygon tool. Click on the sketch dimension tool. We're going to go from here to here, and we're going to slide out, and that measurement is going to be 0.386. And before we continue, we're just going to verify that 0.386, perfect. But back to Fusion, we can hit enter, and now it's the right size. Now we're going to hit finish sketch. Once we do that, the last thing we have to do is extrude our hexagon. So I'm actually going to go to my home view and just kind of reorientate the object, and then I'm going to view the bottom here. We want to extrude this hexagon. So use your E key or the extrude key tool in the toolbar. And right now it's pointing down, but we need it to go up. And if you remember in our drawing, it was 0.255. So we're going to do a negative 0.255 to do a cut. And then we're going to hit OK. And now you can see that we we created that hexagon with the cut, and it has the hole that goes all the way through as well. Make sure you hit save to save your screw slide block. And that is all she wrote.